Hi, I'm Caitlin from Concrete Couch and welcome to Draw Out with Pikes Peak Suicide Prevention and Concrete Couch. We're so excited that you're joining us for this class. This week, in honor of, in a few weeks, we're going to have the holiday Mardi Gras. This year, because of COVID, it's going to be a little different. A lot of the celebrations have again been scaled down or canceled. But you can still have fun at home by making your own Mardi Gras mask. In your kit, you should have gotten copies of 3 different templates. One looks sort of like a ribbon. One is just more of a traditional mask. And another's another different type of mask. You guys get to choose which one you want to use. So choose any of those 3, and the first thing you're going to do is cut it out with your scissors. So you can cut out the template with your scissors. And the hardest part of cutting out the template will be cutting out the eyes. I'm going to show you a trick. If you have something like a push pin or a paper clip, it will make it a little easier. Or if you have pointy scissors, I just happen to have the scissors you get as a little kid with the rounded tips, so it makes it a little harder to poke a hole in your paper. So I'll show you a trick I've learned. So cut out your template. And voila. So your template looks like this. Now the hardest part to get out is the eyes. So what I do is I have a standard paper clip and unbend it a little bit. You can also do this if you have, like from last week, your push pins left over from making the t-shirts. You can do the same thing. Just poke a little hole into the eyes. Yeah, poke it right there and right here. And then you can cut out your eyes that way. It helps give you space for your scissors. Cut out the eyes, which is important when you wear your mask. You want to be able to see. So see, I've cut out my eyes, and I'm not doing a perfect job, but that's okay. Just a space so when you wear your mask, you can see out of them. See? So your mask should look like this. Now, because this piece of paper is really flimsy, we actually gave you in your kits a piece of thicker paper called cardstock. You're going to put your mask on this and trace it so that way when you wear your mask, it won't rip in half when a breeze hits it or something else. It will be much easier to work with when you have it on a little bit thicker paper. So you guys can take a pen, pencil, marker, whatever you've got handy, and trace your mask outline onto your paper. I'll hold it up in a second so you can see it. Alright? And don't forget the eyes, that's important. You want to have, again, those eyes so when you wear your mask, you have a space to see out of your mask. So once you trace it, it'll be on your paper like that, and then you're just going to take your scissors again and cut them out. And again, when you're cutting it out, you want to follow the line, but as you can see, I'm not doing it perfectly 100% of the time. That's fine. You just want to give yourself the basic mask shape for your face. So you have your basic mask shape now with your cardstock. Again, with your cardstock, since it's really thick, you might want to take a pokey paper clip, push pin, if you've got like a old nail sitting around the house, and just take that metal, and it helps if you just poke it through really quick, poke it through. If you have a pointy scissors, usually you could do the same thing, just maybe set your paper down on the table and push with your scissors. That works too. Sometimes the pokey little smaller objects works a little easier, but anything you have that works. Then you want to cut out the eyes. So when you wear your mask, you can see out of it. Get all that paper out. Other side again, I'm just going to poke my eyeball out. Eye out. Eye and my mask out. Not my real eye. There you go. Stick my scissors in. Voila. Now, you've got your template, your base for your mask. You get to decorate it. In your kit, we give you a bunch of colored paper. If you want to, you can decorate with the paper and just the paper. I tend to like the look of ripping the paper, so I tend to rip my paper just because I think it looks a little more abstract and so it looks a little funkier. So I'll rip the paper like this and just rip it into little pieces, different size pieces. Some people might want to cut their paper, so you could take your scissors too and just cut a strip of paper and then cut it if you prefer that look. So you can cut and or rip your paper into little sections, and you can use all the different colors if you prefer to make a pattern and do like just yellow and blue, or your two favorite colors, purple and pink, or red and orange, green and red, whatever colors you choose, or do a mixture of all of them. That is where you get to decide and have let your creativity flow. So you guys all got paper and a glue stick. Now, to decorate your mask, you guys can all, I'm going to do my mask and actually use some of the outline color since it's on there. I'm going to leave it on and do it face up like this. If you prefer, you don't like the color, or whatever reason, you want to use your plain white side, that's okay too. But you're going to take your glue stick and just glue your paper onto your mask and make whatever pattern you want. And you want to try and follow the template. So you don't want, well, you could do. If you want to, you can. But you probably don't want all of it sticking out like this. I mean, if you have one or two sections like that, that's okay. But if you do it the whole mask, it gets kind of big to wear on your face. But if you want specific spots that are sticking off, again, you get to decide where you want to put your paper. But you glue the paper on however you want to decorate your mask. And this is a time, if you have it around your house, other household items you could use. I happen to have, from doing construction projects, some of this old silver duct tape. So I'm going to put a few pieces of old silver duct tape on mine to make mine a little shinier. If you have lots of people, sometimes in the house from arts and crafts projects might have some like old rhinestone, like colored dots, rhinestones, or little, I have one, they have like little sparkly decorations like this from a Halloween party or a Christmas party. You can see this one has like a Christmas tree. You can use some of those and glue them on. You also got to attach your mask to your face, yarn. But this is usually going to be, I made sure to give you extra yarn because I'm not sure what size head you guys all have. So I wanted to make sure it would fit around everyone's head. So a lot of times, like if you look at this piece of yarn, I have a pretty big head and I still have, it's going to be too big. So if you want to use a little bit of yarn, you could measure the yarn to make sure it will tie around your head like this, fit around your head. And then you could trim off the extra pieces and cut up your yarn and glue on your yarn to the mask, a little bit of extra yarn, you could do that. And so you're going to decorate your mask however you want. So choose your paper. And also, if you want to cover your whole piece of paper, the whole mask with colored paper, you can. The other thing you can do, if you have them around, a lot of you guys do, you could color a little bit. So we'll do like mixed media. So I'm going to do that first to show you how I might do it as a mixed media piece. I'm just going to use my yellow and blue paper and put like a random pattern of different color on there. And glue on some paper, maybe another blue piece because that's a lot of yellow. So maybe that's the start of my paper pieces. Oh, one didn't stick. Sorry, not enough glue. So if it falls off, luckily you have a nice glue stick, just re-stick it on. So there's the start of mine. And you could leave it like that, but I think I want mine a little more decorative. But I'm going to try and use a few other materials besides just my paper. So I might decide, like the eyes specifically, I want them to be a different color. So I might take a marker and outline my eyes and color those in a different color. Color those in to make them look a little different. Color my eyes and highlight them in blue. And then, so see, starting to get my mask. And then I might say, all right, and I want a little bit of this sort of teal green on the edges. So I might fill in and color this in on the sides. Then I might go, okay, I have a little bit of there, and maybe down on the top, up here, I want a different color to make it look bright. So I might go sort of an orangish yellowish color. So then with my mask, I might go, okay, I've colored in some pieces. I realize I want a little more paper on it. But I think I want to throw in some more color. So I'm going to use some orange and rip up some orange chunks to get in a little more variety of color into my mask. And I'm going to glue on some orange pieces to make it a little brighter. I might go, ooh, that looks nice, but I still feel like I want a little more color maybe over here, so maybe I'll fill it in with a little more of the blue and yellow I've already ripped up. So here's a little more blue, maybe I want to alternate though. Some yellow and some yellow in here. So as I go, my mask is coming together. And then I have some of this old silver tape. So I'm going to cut up a couple pieces. Take some silver tape because then it makes it shiny. And I think a shiny piece would be fun to have. I'm going to rip up this tape and put a piece of tape here to give some shiny colors to it. And maybe since I cut it up, I'll take a little bit of my string that I cut up, and maybe I want to put some string on the mask. The string is a little tricky because it's going to want to, if you just put the glue onto your string, it's just going to want to stick to your fingers then. So what I've found, the best technique for putting string on is you put your glue down, swirl your glue, and then however you want your string, you'll put your string down on it. And then actually, instead of using your finger, I would use your scissors or something else and push down on your string like this. Put some pressure with instead of your fingers, like using your scissors. because if you use your fingers, it tends to just lift all the glue off onto your finger, I've learned. Trust me, trial and error. I did a lot of gluing, trying to glue this yarn and string down with like just using my finger, and it tended to just, when I took my finger off, the string popped up with it because it was just like all the glue just stuck to my finger. So, see, if I'd used my scissors, there you go, the string's not coming off with my finger. So that works better than trying to put the string on the back, the glue on the back of this yarn or something. That tends not to stick very well. So I have some yarn to give it some texture. I have some different colors. Maybe I'll throw in a little bit of, I got some purple. Maybe I'll throw in a little bit purple color to fit in. And so with the purple, since I know I have certain spaces now that I'm trying to fill in, I might rip the paper to fit the space now. At first, when I was ripping paper, I kind of just picked paper and put it down. But now, since I'm seeing I have specific spaces available, I might put the purple there and say like this. Maybe I want to make you a little skinnier to fit in there, so rip you off a little bit. Or you could cut using your scissors to fit you in there. I want maybe some purple up there. Maybe rip you a little bit to make it bigger. So in the end, however you make it with string, you can use, like I said, different shiny bits that you found around your house, or using markers to add some more color, or just using the paper. If all you want to do is just use the paper, you can just do that too. With your lots of different colors and make it bright and colorful, your paper, just with the paper, you can do that. At the end, you should have this nice, colorful, fun mask that is all yours, expressing your individual creative side. Now, the idea with the mask is on Mardi Gras, the holiday, which is in February, if you want to, for fun on the occasion, you could wear your mask around the house sometime. So to wear the mask, there's two ways you could do it. You could just, if you're just wearing it for a second, to hold it up to be like, it's Mardi Gras, you could just hold it like this. But if you actually want to wear the mask using the string, there's again different ways you can put the string on. One way is to poke a hole on the sides. And again, using something like a paper clip or a push pin is probably the easiest way to do this. And then you just make a hole with that thing, with that metal object, and then I get those, my fingers are really sticky now. But you could string the yarn through your hole. My fingers, because they're really sticky from the glue, are not doing well. So what I'm going to do is actually put the string around my metal. And there's my hole. And go through, like, push it through. With the metal. Pull it through. And voila. And then you can just tie it on in a knot, like this. Tie it as a knot, and then when you do both sides, you can wrap it around your face. This is going to be up, right side up. Wrap it around your face, poke a hole, tie it on the other side. And again, you probably should have extra string. I gave you really long string just in case. With size it to your face, or if you're giving it to a friend or family member, you can size it to their face. The other way, if you have tape, is the quick and easy way. If you have a piece, and it doesn't have to be this kind of tape. If you have Scotch tape or masking tape, you can do the same thing. You can just take a piece of tape, and the other way you could install it is just tape the string to the mask like that. If you have someone behind the mask, you could do that with tape. and just install it like that. That's probably your easiest way to do it if you have, again, Scotch tape or masking tape at home. You don't have to use any special kind of tape. Any tape will work. And then voila, you have your mask. I didn't size this to my face, so it's going to fall off. But if I tightened it a little bit and it made it a little smaller, I could have it and wear it around. The other way you could do it is if you wanted to, you could also do it with glue. So again, with the glue, what I would recommend is you put the glue down, a bunch of glue down, and take your string and stick it on the glue, and then again, use your scissors or something. You could use a pen too, and push it down with that instead of your finger, because your finger is just going to take the glue up, and then the string won't stick, but you could stick the string on with glue, and then push it down with some kind of weight that's not your finger, so you don't take all the glue off. And then you could glue both sides down, and then wear your mask around the house too, like that. Like that. So there's a lot of different ways to install your string. My recommendation is poking the hole or the tape. The glue, you're going to have to use a lot of glue to get it to stick, so it's a little less likely that it will hold as long. Tape or the hole will, probably the hole is your most sturdy. Tape is your quickest option, and then glue, if you don't have tape or a way to poke a hole, can work. It's just going to take a little more engineering in terms of making sure you have enough glue to get your string to stick down on it. With your masks, again, you can do it with paper and marker and whatever you have around the house, string or glitter or anything else. If you have feathers, you can have anything stuck on the mask. If you want a little bit simpler, you can do, I'm going to take off these because you didn't get these. If you want to use just what you got in the kit, which is great, you can use, you got paper and string. Again, you have plenty of extra yarn, hopefully, so you could do just like a mask like this and have, cut this extra string up, and you could use it to make different designs. I happen to make swirlies, but you can use the string and you could build it like, just glue it on in any shape. You can make squares with it, you can make triangles, you could make a star with it and glue it on. So if you wanted to use just what's in the kit, that's great too, and you can make a very pretty mask that way. Or if you happen to have markers, you could use your paper and then do a little bit of coloring on it. But that's a Mardi Gras mask, and it's fun to make, and you have templates and cardstock to make two. The templates, you have 3 options to choose from. So this is one, this shape. This is one, this sort of bow shape that you have. And then the third shape you have is more of this rectangular shape you can use. So you could cut this out if you're looking for a different shape. And remember to cut the whole shape out and then the eyes also. If you want to make one, like we gave you enough material to make 2. If you want to make more, again, if you want some thicker paper, this is called cardstock. You can get it at your local Walmart or Target or somewhere like that for a couple bucks. But also, if you don't have time to go out to a shop, you can use like your old cereal boxes or cracker boxes. If you have those at home, you could flatten them out and use them, same sort of thickness as cardstock. And this is just construction colored paper. You can use it. And then also if you run out of colored paper, you can use markers to color in designs. Look around your house, use fabric, use string, whatever you want to use to make it colorful and fun. Alright, so that is mask making. Also in your kit, as your final thing, you guys will see you got a recipe. It says Mardi Gras King Cupcakes. Part of the Mardi Gras holiday, besides people wearing festive masks and usually festive colorful outfits, is this special dessert that is only made traditionally on Mardi Gras holiday. It's called King Cake. I gave you a recipe for King Cupcakes. because right now with COVID, you probably don't have a huge group of people gathering where you need a big cake. But if you make little cupcakes, you can have them. Your friends and family could eat them, and they're just little colorful cakes to celebrate the holiday. So you have the recipe for it. It takes sugar, flour, baking powder, nutmeg, a little bit of butter, salt, milk, vanilla, and 2 large eggs. It does say you need a little bit of lemon oil. If you don't have lemon oil, don't worry about it. You don't need it. It's 1/8 of a teaspoon. If you don't, lemon oil is something here in the States I don't think I've seen almost ever. So just leave it off. There's still plenty of ingredients and they'll taste really good. Icing, they have an icing recipe. The other thing you can do if you don't, like me, I don't have this. I don't have a way to mix the icing. So if you don't have like a nice machine mixer and you don't want to spend 12 hours hand whipping your frosting, you can just go buy like a vanilla tub of frosting and some food coloring, again at a King Soopers Safeway, and you can make really pretty, you can see from the picture, yours will be black and white actually, but the picture you usually do like a green and blue and purple frosting, and you can do that with just food coloring and go buy a container of white with vanilla frosting from the store if you don't want to make your own, because I just don't have the tools, so that's what I tend to do. But that is it. So in a month when Mardi Gras comes around, you should have a mask, and if you want, a dessert to celebrate the holiday. All right, so thank you for tuning in, and a couple of announcements. First of all, there are openings in all youth groups. You can visit the Pikes Peak Suicide website. It's www.pikespeaksuicideprevention.org. There is an all ages suicide bereavement teen talk. And today there is a men's outreach event. It is 4 to 6 p.m. So if you want to come to that, remember 4 to 6 p.m. today for men's outreach. And next week, your Draw It Out class is actually going to be with Luke. He's going to teach you all how to sketch, which sounds really fun. So I hope you all tune in for it.